Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Let's get started with registration. Just a quick reminder, you're the class of 22. If you're a senior, you're a class of 23. If you're a junior, and the class of 24 if you are sophomores. Now remember, I'm projecting into the next year. So this is how registration happens in times of COVID. Here's the timeline for registration we'll present today. We'll do registration on February 26th. That's a Friday. Try not to be gone. For students interested in dual credit, we will have a meeting on Monday, the 22nd at 2 o'clock in the cafeteria. We'll talk about summer school dual credit and dual credit for the 21-22 school year. It should take about 15 minutes. Okay, it's something different, but you have some things in front of you, so you should have a registration sheet. The front of it designates your class standing as well as the color. On the back are all of the classes at Mitchell High School. In your SRB, there also will be some sheets, additional sheets with all of the classes available. Use some common sense as we're going through this planning process. Look at your 4-year plan from before, and we're going to create a new one. Please take advantage of all we have to offer here at Mitchell High School. Look at your interest level classes, career objective classes. Also consider your post-secondary preparation and consider attending the dual credit meeting. Now, I know a lot of you are thinking, hey, I'll just go and meet with Mrs. Mills or Mrs. Fowkes one-on-one. Folks, that's just not going to be possible. There's only 2 of us, and we're talking about getting this massive project done in 2 weeks. So you will need to get some work done on your own. And don't walk into our office saying, I don't know any of this, and expect us to do your work. This is your life you're planning for. It's really important that you make your actions match your word. So if you're telling me that you want to go into a medical field, but say, I don't want to take honors chem because it's going to be too hard, do me a favor and don't go into the medical field. I want to be a welder, but I don't want to take architectural drawing. I don't like working with plans. I'm not sure what kind of welder you're going to be. Oh, I want to be a game designer, but I don't want to take computer programming. Then you're probably not going to be a game designer. You're just going to be a game player. You are preparing for jobs, remember, that haven't even been created yet. 10 years ago, we didn't have jobs that were called, I'm a blogger, or I'm a data mining specialist, or a cloud security specialist, or a social media director. So plan for your future. These are some things you should have right now. A registration sheet with a label that's your name at the top of the sheet. That eliminates Mrs. Fowkes and myself having to decode what your name is. You should have a transcript in front of you. Now, this is very important because I want you to check it for errors. If you see something that's incorrect, make a note of it and bring it down to the counseling office later. Take a look at the graduation requirement and what we call our personal learning plan. The state says this has to be completed, so we'd like you to do that now during SRB, during this time. You must complete it. You're going to leave it with your SRB teacher. You can take a picture of it, and I really recommend that you do. You'll also have a link to the course description book. There'll also be hard copies in the library, and your SRB should have 1 copy. There's also a list of classes on the back of the registration sheet, on a handout, and it will be posted online. All right, I'm really serious about the mistakes on your transcript. Check your transcript. It's like a paycheck. You want to look at your grades, your credit, and the classes. Remember, if there is an error, write on the transcript and bring it down to us later, not during SRB. I also want you to take a look at your GPA, your class rank, also look at attendance, and let's take a look at tardies. So here would be an example. We're looking at your GPA. You're looking at tardies, following the arrows. But now we're looking for errors. And so you might say, I'm not sure I received any credit for this class because there isn't anything in the credit column. Or I think I should have more total credit hours. And that's something we probably also need to talk about. So here is how it looks, folks. If you have 6 credits, you're considered a sophomore. If you have 11 credits, you're considered a junior. And if you have 17 credits, you're considered a senior. Now remember, that's at the end of this year, not where you're at right now. The key is, will you be able to graduate on time? Now, there's been some conversation about some students not being able to print out their transcript. So let's just talk a little bit about that. Remember, you can print and you can see it from your phone or any mobile device, and you should be able to print it from your laptop or see it from your laptop. So from your phone, you're going to tap on the app, you're going to log in. Go to the top left corner, you see 3 lines, you're going to tap on that. Go to Documents, and then from there to Transcript. You'll have 2 options, with immunizations or without immunizations, and in most cases, you want the without immunizations. It's pretty simple. Let's talk a little bit about graduation requirements and your personal learning plan. We're talking about specific credits here. I use an X to designate that you've done the class and a diagonal line to show that it's in progress. Please remember that if you fail a required class, you must repeat it. Health education is a credit that you earned in middle school. Now, you don't get credit for high school graduation, but you meet the requirement, so I simply write in OK. Please also remember that for scholarship criteria, you need to have, obviously, 4 English credits because you need that to graduate Mitchell High School, but 4 upper-level math classes and 4 upper-level science classes. Again, we go back to the conversation about what is your plan after you leave high school. I will tell you, I do all this work in pencil because I expect it to change as we go through things. So here's your personal learning plan. Again, my X's are a little sketchy here, but I think you get the point. So if I'm a 9th grader, I completed my first semester of English 1. The diagonal line says it's in progress. I completed civics, but my geography class is in progress. Notice the state requirement for CTE class, a world language, or an internship. If you did Spanish in the middle school, then you can use that for credit there. If you're saying I'm not a world language kid, then you're going to pick up that credit either through your CTE classes or an internship like World of Work or Youth Health Internship. Down below, under electives, would be some of the classes that you would put if you're, say, taking Computer Programming 2, Sports Medicine. So you can continue through that. What's most important is that you meet those solid requirements up above. Let's take a look at the back side where we talk about a personal learning plan and the 4 years. So if you are really a freshman and we're projecting into your sophomore year, you're going to fill the rest of the columns out as a plan for what you want to do when you're done and graduated. Please take a look at where it says post-high school plans. Spend some time and write some ideas down. It doesn't matter if they're not connected at all or there's not a consistent theme. What we're talking about is have some ideas. There are some important numbers to know as we move forward. Seniors, remember open hours, you get 1 each semester. So in the fall, the number is 9901, and spring, the number is 9902. Juniors, remember, you only have an open hour second semester. We'll talk about dual credit classes, but those numbers can also be found on the back of your registration sheet. So if it's a fall class that you're wanting to take, you would use those numbers 9991 through 9994, and the spring 9995 through 9999. Again, use some moderation and common sense. You certainly can't fill up your whole day with dual credit classes. What we're looking for is a balance. You do need to be able to make choices. You need to be able to kind of commit to a future that you're preparing for now. As an alternative, I guess you could just plan to live at home forever. Hey, just a quick reminder about 2-block classes. Those are classes that cover 2 blocks of time. You write the number down once, but the class name down twice. It just helps you visualize what the whole process will look like. So these would be some examples. Let's take a look at some of your choices, folks. There are lots of choices. In fact, it's overwhelming. On the back of your registration sheet, I have them broken down for you by department. So we're simply going to take a quick review. I know you can read as well as I can, and I know that your time is valuable, and we have a lot of things we have to get done today. So here we get to go. Here's our Ag Science and Education program. I'm not sure if some of you have seen our geodesic dome, but it's really quite amazing. We have a new gator, and I included some of the models that they're using in some of the classes. Remember, just because you don't live on a farm doesn't mean you would be exempt from the ag classes. We all eat. Some of you are hunter and fishermen, and some of you are looking at developing some of your leadership skills. Some of you are looking at going into sales and marketing, and in South Dakota, wildlife, conservation, those things are very important to us. Let's take a look at our business department. Obviously, pictures are kind of hard to show, but you give a beginning introductory business class to our Accounting 2 class. If you're thinking you ever want to run a business, run the family farm, if you're very detail-oriented and interested in a good-paying job, these are some classes you might want to consider. We have computers, of course. Remember, one is required to graduate, so we have computers 1, 2, and 3, computer programming, business computer app, and information tech essentials. I think Mr. Mastel is amazing, and I think most people who've had him for a class agree. Engineering. So we have 3 engineering classes. You get an opportunity to do work in robotics. You have the marble sorter, which I had an opportunity to watch the kids construct their marble sorter and sort of show them off. They're the Project Lead the Way classes. It's a state program. It's a federal program, and we follow their curriculum. We have Intro to Engineering, Principles of Engineering, and Digital Electronics. So we have our English requirements, and we know what those are. Then we move on to our electives. The new class that we're bringing back is our Contemporary Communications class, and that's going to be a strong media-based class. There's been conversations that you could take it for just first semester. We would encourage you to take it for both semesters, however. Do like to bring in our culinary or dietary science classes, and those would include everything from nutrition and wellness, our dietetics and nutrition, culinary arts 1 and 2. These are some examples where they're growing their own food, and you can see the kind of equipment that you'd be using. You may not want to be a professional chef. You just may want to be a home chef. Well, this would be your opportunity to get some experience. We have a fantastic fine arts program, and I think we can all agree, everything from our art program to our music, our vocal, and instrumental. We do have 2 dual credit fine arts, our photography class and our advanced art, or Art 121. If you walk by the art room in their display cabinets, you can see some ideas about what happens in the art classes. Our health science classes, obviously, if you're looking at going into a health field, here's where you go. If you're looking at pursuing something in research, or you're going to be working with people as, say, a physician, the principles of biomed, human body systems, which really is a basic anatomy class, as well as medical interventions. Then we have Mr. Groper's classes, of course, Health Oc, Survey of Health, Sports Med, and our Youth Health Internship, which we are hoping will be in the fall of next year. I think positive thinking will get us through these difficult times, and we'll move on to next year being pretty normal. Now, math is important. Obviously, you need 3 credits of math, of which one of those must be algebra. And then again, if you're looking at going to a university, you're really talking about preparing for college-level work. If your skills aren't strong, we'd probably need to head into the pre-algebra or even our integrated math so we can rebuild those skills. Obviously, we need 1 PE credit to graduate, and we have 3 PE classes. Our science program, we're starting out in 9th grade taking physical science. We do biology in 10th grade, chemistry or honors chemistry. Some students move up, Bio 151. We have Chem 106 and physics. So Bio 151 and Chem 106 are our classes you can get dual credit for. They're a good value. We teach them here, and we have pretty amazing teachers. Physics, it's how everything works. If you're looking at becoming a physician, a medical doctor, you're going to take physics at the university level, so you'd want to have a high school class that supports that. If you're wanting to be a dentist, then you certainly are taking physics. if you're wanting to do something in the engineering field. Physics and calculus, I call them the ugly sisters. You often want to take them together because you're covering many of the same thoughts and same themes in the curriculum. Let's take a look at social studies. Obviously, most of you have taken civics in 9th grade. Some of you have done geography. Some of you may even in 9th grade have gone all the way up to world history. From there, you want to move into U.S. history. And we do have history 151 and 152 for students who love history. And that's a dual credit class. We have American government or the political science class 153, which is a dual credit government class. Psychology, Psych Today, sociology, and critical issues. Then we move into our CTE classes. So we have a strong auto department, if everything from engines to steering to brake to electronics, as well as our intro classes. A lot of hands-on learning, and some of you really thrive in that environment. We have some building classes. I'm not sure if any of you know this, but we are building a house, a structure. And you can see that back where the geodesic dome is. It's a little cold right now to be working out there, so they are doing some inside work. But you're working with equipment that can be large scale, like building a house, or a hobby craftsman working in the basement. We have some welding classes. I often think that is a program where you can get a job right out of high school or decide that you want to make a career out of it and you're looking at going to Mitchell Technical College and earning an associate degree. Let's just look at some sample registrations so you can get in the right mindset. All right, so as a junior, you want to make sure that if you're taking a double block class, that you write that number down once. When we ask you to fill out the alternative course choices, we really mean we need that whole column filled out. If you leave it blank, we're going to fill it in for you. Most importantly, folks, we are going to need signatures. We need a parent signature, most importantly. We want you to visit with your English teacher as well as your math teacher and consult them for some suggestions on some math or English classes you should be taking. Don't forget to give us some ideas about what you're saying you want to go into. For kids who are going to be sophomores, we're going to go through that same process. Here's the year where you might want to get rid of some of those classes so that it frees up some of your time as a senior to take some of your interest classes. Some of you might say, I'm doing really well. Maybe I want to double up on biology and chemistry. That would be where you would visit with your science teacher to see if that's a good idea. Seniors, I'm just moving quickly through this. I want you to make good choices. You are the veterans going through this. It's going to be very important that we get things right. I'm asking you to do these things. Seek advice from your teachers, from friends, from classmates, from siblings, and even us. Ask questions. Make sure it's the right fit for you. Plan for your future, whether you're taking dual credit classes, whether you're going to be taking sequential classes and you want to make sure you get, as an example, get Honors Chem so that you're ready for Bio 151 or that you've had that background. If perchance you took regular Chem and you're not sure if you should take Bio 151, I'd seek out Miss Olson and ask her. Here are the keys to successful registration, folks. I want you to consider all of your options. I want you to discuss your options. I want you to weigh the odds of taking honors versus regular. If you're going to college, my question to you is, shouldn't you be taking more honors classes? Get signatures. Make sure you can access your campus portal because we're registering on the 26th. And that's a day we don't wait for anybody. We get in, we register, and we're done. I'm really hoping that we don't have a snow day. Just a quick reminder about some of our dual credit classes. You may want to consider taking some of them. Remember, our teachers are probably better than teachers you're going to have at the college level. They know you. They take time to explain things to you. They even write letters of recommendation. You may not get that at the college level. Those teachers either A, don't know you or won't take the time. We probably should talk about early graduation. Some of you as seniors are thinking you want to graduate after that first semester. You do need to submit an application to graduate early, and it must be submitted before April 1. It will be on our website. We do need to have a meeting, and we need a parent permission, so a parent signature. We'll talk more about dual credit things at our meeting on the 22nd, but just a quick review. Making sure that you meet the guidelines, making sure that you don't bite off more than you can chew, and that you are invested in this program. Quick little review about summer school. If you need to take personal finance or world history, we might need to go over that. All right, so if you have any questions, folks, we want you to stop in, but I want you to spend the rest of SRB planning, laying out what next year is going to look like, as well as the next few years that you're going to be in the building. Good luck.